Hi, Stampers. It's Nancy from stampandshout.com. Welcome to my YouTube Live. I'm here every Tuesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you would like, you can subscribe and hit that notification bell and you will get reminders. But I'm so happy that you are with me tonight. If you are live, go ahead and say hi. And if you're watching me on replay, go ahead and type in replay, say hi, and ask your questions. I'll be sure to answer them. So I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That means I use Stampin' Up! Products and I make lots of cards and projects with them, and then I share them with you, like I said, on YouTube every Tuesday, Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. So if you are a new stamper or a seasoned stamper, I would be happy to help you. Just leave comments or email me and visit my blog because I always have lots of information there. So tonight I want to talk a little bit about the Painted Pheasant Stamp Set. That's what I've been working with and playing with and creating with this week. So I want to make a card with you, but I want to show you some fun coloring techniques first. And then at the end, I will show you a couple of cards and a card that's going to be in my newsletter. So we'll get to all that in a little bit. So Painted Pheasant is a really nice stamp set. Obviously, it's a fun stamp set. It's kind of different to have a pheasant for the autumn cards and guide cards, really good for guide cards. You can use different sentiments, obviously, to change up the theme. So I'm making one for my brother with a happy birthday theme. But I love that that's got the Happy Thanksgiving because this is the only stamp set I think I have that has Happy Thanksgiving. And I do like to send out Thanksgiving cards to my family and friends. So let's get started. So basically with this stamp set, you can just stamp. And here's a couple examples of just stamping. And I want to give you a little tip on this. If you're going to just stamp this, it's a big stamp. So you want to make sure that your ink pad is nice and juicy. And if it is, you're going to get a beautiful image like this one here. And that's all you have to do with this stamp set is basically stamp, put it with your coordinating cardstock, and put your greeting on it, and you've got a card. This one here, it was not as juicy, so it's a little bit faded. So that's my first tip of the evening is make sure your stamp set is nice and juicy. Or use your Stamparatus. That way you can re-ink your stamp up again and re-stamp right in the same image, and it will become darker. So that's my second tip. And here it is in parakeet. Haha, pheasant and parakeet party. What is it called? Parakeet. What is that? Parakeet Party. That's one of the new colors, and that's Tahitian Tide. And this is the Mango Melody. So that's just stamped. Then, of course, you can, it's a rubber stamp. Let me bring it in. You can also take a sponge dauber and ink up your sponge daubers and color this in and then stamp it that way. I tried to do that. I didn't have a lot of success with it. I'm really picky, and it just didn't turn out as nice as I wanted it to. So then what did I do next? Then, this is just a little sample card. I colored it in with my markers, and I do like this one. This one turned out pretty cool. So you could have a lot of fun coloring this in with your Stampin' blends. You just take your Stampin' blend and color right in on it. So you can make it all different kinds of colors, and this one actually turned out pretty good. So that was just my little test. But what I want to show you tonight is fun. It's the baby wipe technique, and I know I'm going to call it the diaper technique, but it's the baby wipe technique. So we're going to do that really fast here, and I am going to take a couple of baby wipes, and I'm going to take 3 actually. I think when I did it the first time I used 2. I'm going to use 3, and you can get these at the dollar store. They don't have to be name brand or anything like that. What am I using? I've got I don't know. Oh, I don't know. No name on it. So I probably did get these at the dollar store. So I'm just sealing that box back up. So I'm going to take these baby wipes and I'm just going to fold them in half. And you can lay these in a little like food container that you got from Carry Out Food, or, you know, like the mushroom trays that they give you, the little plastic things, anything like that. This is probably a DVD holder that I'm using. So I got my 3 layers there. And then I'm going to bring in all my little inkers, my little refills. And I got a bunch of colors here, and I'm just going to kind of look first and get an idea of how big I need to go. So I don't have to put ink on the whole thing, so I'm just going to put ink here and there. So it's about as long as my little stampandshout.com. So I am going to just put, this is Pacific Point. So I'm just going to put some drops in here. This is Daffodil Delight. So don't forget to comment, say hi, so I know I'm not alone here. Also, I wanted to mention a few things as I'm doing this. Celebration ends tomorrow. So if you are thinking of buying something, if you spend $50, you get a celebration item for free. So that's a good incentive for you. I mean, if you don't buy it on the next day, because then you don't get that $50 free item. But that ends tomorrow. What else do I want to tell you? Oh, we're going to be using note cards tonight. We're going to make a note card. And I think that's one of the best deals that you can get with Stampin' Up. It's note cards. There's 20 of them for $7 with envelopes. So that's one of my favorite things. I was actually going to wait to tell you that when I started using the note card, but since I'm doing this and it's just a time filler, what else do I want to tell you? Oh, I want to tell you stay to the end because I do have some other cards that I'm going to show you. I'm just kind of filling in this whole spot. Let me look here. I'm going to probably have to fill in there a little bit. So I'm going to go a little bit up higher just to fill in, make sure everything's covered. Otherwise, you're going to have a blank spot. I'm using a lot of the blue because my little accent color that I'm using is Pacific Point. So hopefully that'll give us a nice looking pheasant. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to make sure that before you start is you have some paper that you're going to stamp on. So I have 3 sheets, but this is for multiple. You can make multiple cards with this, but I'm going to do it with 3 sheets tonight. So I have one that I cut out with the scallop contour dies, and then I just have some blank paper here. So we'll see what happens. So you're going to ink this stamp up. I'm just looking to make sure I got enough. I think I'm going to go a little further here with my colors just to make sure everything's colored. Okay. And you want to wait a second, let that soak in. And now we're going to ink this up. That's perfect. So I'm just going to kind of stamp it in the same position. I don't want to go all over because it'll mish the colors up, like that word mish. So I'm kind of going up and down. I'm pushing hard because I want to make sure that I get that ink on here. Or you could hold it for a second. And I'm going to bring this piece in. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp on it. So I'm kind of lining it up. This is a tight fit on this little piece, but it's going to look good on our note card when we're done. Kind of faded. So that means I'm going to put more ink on. It's pretty though. It's really pretty. So let me put a little bit more ink on. It's not too bad. I was trying to figure that out earlier if I needed more baby wipes or less baby wipes. I think we're good. Plus the stamp set, if you want to know the truth, is really light when you stamp it. Up here, it's kind of a faint look to it. So let's see, I have another one. So here's that contour, that scalloped contour piece. I got an extra one here. Let's see what this looks like. We'll do it one more time on there. And this is a big, big stamp. So let's do it again. Oh yeah. So I pushed really, really hard on that. That's gorgeous. Look how cute he is. Okay. So then you can keep going and make more with this. So let me make one more. This is a scrap that I'm going to cut down to fit on my card later. So you could like mass produce this. Like I said, this is a big stamp. So that's what you want to do. It's beautiful. You want to hold it a long time and let that ink really saturate. Look how beautiful that is. That is so cool. Okay, before I go any further with that, I want to actually bring in an envelope, and I'm going to bring in another stamp from the set. This is the note card envelope. So we're going to be making a note card later on, but I wanted to kind of decorate this with one of the other stamps. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Very cool. I like that. So I think I'm going to put one on the back. Just trying to see which way I want to lay it. Isn't that pretty? That's very cool. Actually, I'm going to do some more on the back. It's kind of fun when you get an envelope that's decorated. So there you go. That is the baby wipe technique. Now look how well that turned out with the smaller stamps. So sentiments, let me show you a sentiment. It all matches. I don't know how well you can see that. Let me move this light a little bit. So you can make a lot of cards. You just have to have your cardstock ready because this will eventually dry out. So just have your cardstock ready and stamp and stamp and stamp, and you can make a whole bunch in just with one little tray of your baby wipes. So let's go ahead and make our card. So here we go. Here's our note cards. So Stampin' Up, like I said, sells note cards in the Whisper White and the Very Vanilla. And they come pre-folded. They're very heavy, and they come with the nice envelopes. And they're 20 for $7. So I think that's really, that's one of my favorite things to get. So I have that scalloped piece, and then I'm going to layer it right on a little Pacific point cardstock like that. So let me bring in my glue real quick. Oh, you know what else I want to do before I do this? Put it all together is I want to bring my sentiment back in. And I want to stamp my sentiment on here before I glue everything together. So let me just clean this with my little scrubby dubby. You guys know I never know the name of that thing. So let me bring in some ink. I'm going to do it in Pacific Point. And I'm going to put this right here. A pleasant little note. Okay, so now let's put our note card together. So I have my note card, and I'm going to glue this to my Pacific Point cardstock. So I had a lot of glue on there, so I just kind of stamped it off on my silicone mat. the excess I stamped off. So that's going to fit perfectly right there. I will have the dimensions for these pieces on my blog, stampandshout.com. And now I'm just going to put that on my note card. Oh, that's really cute. Love it. So there is the first card. That's the note card. And then I'm going to leave it blank because I like to write a lot on my note card. And then you have the little matching envelope. And isn't that cute? Do you like that? That technique is so easy, and it really is cute. So let me bring that back in. So here's the one that we did. Where are my other ones? I had a bunch of them. So I did these earlier. I also stamped some leaves on the edge. So yeah, you can cut it down, you can stamp it on a note card, do whatever you like, but you just have that paper ready and start stamping, because you'll get a lot of images out of that one little baby wipe that you set up. So let me show you a couple of other cards that I did. We'll leave that there because it's so pretty. So a couple other cards I did with the baby wipe technique is this one here. I stamped right on that paper, and then I cut it down to a smaller size, and I bordered it, and I used some of this pretty Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. And then inside I stamped Happy Thanksgiving. And then I did this one. Now this one I cut the bird out and I popped it up on dimensionals. Okay. I have one other one. Now this one, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek. This one's really fun. Did a lot of stuff with this. This is going to be a free PDF that's in my monthly newsletter. So I will put that information on my blog if you're interested. You can sign up for my newsletter. And basically I just give you the latest Stampin' Up information, and I always include a free PDF. So this is what I'm going to include in my newsletter that's coming out, oh my gosh, Thursday is September 1st, y'all. So that is a really fun, there's a lot of fun techniques on this one. So I think that's it. I showed you everything. We made our card, did that fun baby wipe technique. Please leave your comments. I just want to let you guys know, there's been a lot of people subscribing lately to my YouTube channel, and I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you're out there watching and you're not commenting, and for whatever reason, I'm not sure, but the more live comments I get, the more interaction. I have a lot of little freebies that I'm ready to give away, but I need a little bit more interaction. So make sure you subscribe, you join me every week, share it with your friends, and we'll see what we can do with some fun giveaways. I'd love to give stuff away. But anyway, in the meantime, I hope you liked tonight's ideas and techniques. Thursday, I will have another technique that will either be a video or on my Facebook group, and I post that information down below. And on Friday, I have a fast card that turns into a fancy card. Hi, Martha. So glad you joined us. But that's it for tonight. So don't be shy. Stamp and shout.